Suddenlink, in partnership with Dave Campbell's Texas Football, believe in great connectivity and supporting each community it serves. And that's why we've teamed up for the second consecutive year to present the Dave Campbell's Community Connector School Program presented by Suddenlink. This fall, 10 schools will be spotlighted, and at the end of the season, communities will rally the vote for their school to be named the Community Connection School of the Year and a chance to receive a $2,500 donation thanks to the support of Suddenlink. Today, we are proud to spotlight Community Connection School of the Week, Georgetown High School, and the recipient of our Community Connector Award, Jerrod Wittman. Jerrod has been selected to receive this nomination for all of his hard work, dedication, and service to the Georgetown community. Joining us to celebrate Jerrod, we have the Georgetown ISD Superintendent, Dr. Fred Brent, Athletic Director for Georgetown ISD, Jason Dean, the Principal of Georgetown High School, Brian Johnson. We have Athletic Director and Head Coach of the Georgetown Eagles, Chuck Griffin. And on behalf of Suddenlink, Regional Vice President at Altice USA, Mike Petty, and Market Engagement Specialist at Suddenlink, Kurt Allison. Now, Jerrod, you're known in the community as the Bearded Wonder. You'll have to tell us about that nickname here in a second. But you've served the community as the team photographer. You've helped out creating social media graphics, messaging during this COVID shutdown. All of this while working with the GISD Educational Foundation and having 4 kids go through the GISD schools. Tell us a little bit about your reaction when you found out that you were selected to receive the Community Connector Award, and what motivates you to get involved and support Georgetown High School and their students.
Well, first of all, Kurt and Mike, thank you guys at Suddenlink so much for making this happen. Rob for mediating, because that's what it's going to turn into here. When Coach Griff called me and let me know, I honestly thought these 4 Georgetown guys were in a prank show for me. Like they're going to announce that I'm getting some kind of award, and it's just going to end real badly for me. So to have it validated that it was indeed a very real thing, it warms your heart. I am the husband of a lifelong educator. My wife serves as an assistant principal at Georgetown High School. And it's really just kind of cool because I spent my entire adolescence from the time I was 3 months old until I graduated high school in 1994 here in Georgetown. And so, the little bit that I can do to kind of give back, I'm never going to be the guy that's going to be able to write a $100,000 check for a new weight room or new turf field. But, the good Lord gave me a few gifts, and I look forward to using those and supporting the program just about any way I can. And to answer your first question, Rob, the Bearded Wonder, in today's time of social media, everybody's got to have a gimmick. There's got to be something that's memorable. And I can tell you, out of about the 60,000 people here in Georgetown that populate this fine town, there's probably about 5 that actually know my real name. And pretty much everything else is the Bearded Wonder. So I'd say it was a smart choice. I can kind of fly under the radar that way. And as you can see by the faculty and staff outside of Dr. Brent, we may get a few whiskers on his chin. Chuck's trying to grow his in. But when I had to first approach Coach Dean and saw him, and he's a pretty intimidating guy, 6'4", I figured, you know what? I'm never going to get taller, but dang it if I can't grow a nice little beard like he's got.
I love it. I love it. Well, Coach Griffin, there's so many great community helpers there in Georgetown. And obviously Jerrod stood out, right, for you to make the selection and honor him with the Community Connector Award. I'm curious to you and just tell me a little bit about why you selected Jerrod, what he means to the Georgetown community, and why it's so important for you to preach community involvement and participation to your players.
The first time I came across Jerrod, the Bearded Wonder, actually, it wasn't Jerrod at the time. I was assistant AD in Abilene following Georgetown, and they're in the playoffs, and I'm trying to figure out who's taking these really good pictures and who the Bearded Wonder is. So I was trying to research that, and I was trying to find out from Jason, all right, which parent is this, who is doing this? And, just always impressed with his work. And when we got here, moved here, we actually have a son the same age. My youngest son, his oldest son are the same age. That kind of put us in contact a little bit. And, man, he just does incredible work. And the thing that's awesome about Jerrod is he's willing – he does it for free. And he does it just to help support Georgetown ISD and Georgetown High School and our football program. So, I mean, that's been incredible for him to do that. And one of the things that our kids have seen with him being around is just a community member that's not related to the school in any form or fashion, be involved in our programs and help support our programs and help them flourish. And, it's great for them to see that, because we talk about it all the time. But they get to hear it from me and our other coaches on staff, but for them to actually see it from another community member and the expectations that they have when they graduate and leave and become community members is really important. So, man, we're thankful to have Jerrod around. He's an invaluable resource when it comes to our social media. It's pretty much anytime I need to announce something, I go, "Hey, Jerrod, can you do this for me?" And he always responds, "Give me a few minutes, Coach. I'll get it for you." And from that, or from the videos that he's helped us put together, the videos he helped Mr. Johnson and Dr. Brent put together are incredible. And that's a big part of our success here, and we're thankful for it.
Now, Coach Dean, if we sat here and we talked about all the things that our great community helpers do day in and day out, we could talk for hours and hours and hours, and we would still miss out on 1,000 things that they do. So I want to hear from you. What does Jerrod mean to the Georgetown community, and how important is it to have community helpers like Jerrod supporting and helping you guys every single day?
Well, Georgetown is a great community. I've lived here. My family's been here for the last 15 years. And, we've always got people that are willing to serve, in different capacities. And, I think for people to really find value in that, they've got to find something that they enjoy doing, that they enjoy serving in, to help their community. And certainly Jerrod has a passion, for photography, has a passion for being able to create things on social media. And, when you can put people together for serving along with something they're passionate about, man, you've got a great mix. And we hit a home run, finding Jerrod, I think probably in 2017 is when, I was the head football coach at Georgetown High School and was putting something out on social media that probably, to be honest with you, wasn't very good at all. Because I was trying to do it ourselves. And Jerrod, got in contact with me and said, "Hey, Coach, what do you think about this?" And sent me something that just looked, a million times better. And I said, "My gosh, man, that's great. Where did you get that?" And he said, "I did it." I said, "What do you mean you did it?" And he said, "Well, I like to toy around with, computer graphics and coming up with some of this stuff." He said, "Would you mind if I kind of came up with some stuff for y'all?" And that was Jerrod's nice way of saying, "Hey, Coach, move out of the way and let me kind of run with this, and I'll make you proud." And we haven't looked back since. That's kind of when the Bearded Wonder was born, and man, Jerrod's come up with 1,000 images, since then to help us, look really cool. And it's not just, about Georgetown High School. He does it in a wide variety of different ways. Jerrod, he probably wouldn't tell you, but you see the guitars hanging on his wall there in the background. He also serves on our ministry team at church, on our music ministry team. So Jerrod's just really good at finding different ways to help serve our community, and we're very, very appreciative.
Well, it's a tremendous honor of ours to be able to spotlight Georgetown High School with the Community Connection School of the Week Award, and Jerrod with the Community Connector Award. And none of this would be possible without the support of the folks at Suddenlink. We're so grateful to have Mike Petty and Kurt Allison joining us here on behalf of Suddenlink. And Mike, you hear about all the great things that Jerrod does in the Georgetown community. I'm curious why it was so important for Suddenlink to partner with Dave Campbell's Texas Football to spotlight Texas high school communities, and how special is it for you to see a school like Georgetown, a community in which you guys serve each and every day, receive recognition like this?
Yeah, you bet. Well, for nearly 60 years, Dave Campbell's Texas Football has been the leader and authority in all things football to millions of fans across the Lone Star State. Suddenlink, we're proud of the fine work the administration, staff, teachers, coaches, and volunteers like Jerrod are doing for the students and athletes. Jerrod, I understand and appreciate the important role you play in photographing games. I've been a sports photographer as well since working for my high school's, what we called social media then, the newspaper, many years ago. I've done it ever since, as my kids have been involved in high school and their sports and know what it means to give back to the community through making memories for a lifetime. So you are of high value to the parents and the kids and the community. At Suddenlink's core, we believe in it is important to invest in the communities that we serve, and that's why we're sponsoring this Community Connection Award. So, Jerrod, thanks for all you do for your community, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You bet.
And Kurt, I want to bounce that same question to you. How special is it for you to see a school like Georgetown, a community in which you guys serve each and every day, receive recognition like this?
Man, I tell you what, we love Georgetown. I get the opportunity, fortunately, to go over there at least 5 or 6 times a year to work with some of our staff. And I've actually been in the school systems there as well, honoring different people for different things. And anytime we can honor a bearded wonder, we want to be a part of it. Are you kidding? I mean, I'm kind of a wannabe in that category myself.
You're getting there, Kurt.
Look great. And so we want to bring great honor to you. And one thing we want to do, and I think the school can continue to bring honor to you by winning. And you guys have had a great record so far this year. And this contest where you guys are going up against 10 other schools, man, we want to encourage you guys to vote. And recently I found this little picture on your website. And it's a picture of an eagle, and it says, "Did you outwork your opponent today?" And that is true when it comes to football, when it comes to anything sports. You get what you get out of what you put into it. And obviously you put a lot of passion into your pictures, and the results are wonderful. And I'm going to ask the school, the team, the administration did you outvote your opponent today? This is starting real quick, and I want Georgetown to win because I have a lot of little favorite places I like to go in Georgetown. I'd love to come over and bring that check to help honor you and to help Mike and go have a slice of pizza maybe, or something along those lines. So we want to bring honor, and we want to encourage all of those people, all of you students, all the administration to get behind your team, to honor Jerrod, and to get out and vote for your team. We want you guys to win.
I love it, Kurt. And Dr. Brent, what does it mean to you to have the support of folks like Suddenlink, who are committed to recognizing the community efforts of folks like Jerrod, not only at Georgetown High School, but across the state of Texas?
Well, we're always thankful for business partnerships and men and women who advocate for public schools. We believe that we are a foundation of this community, and we have a role in that. And I would think, to sum up all the things that these gentlemen have said, is man, we do love Jerrod, and the Bearded Wonder is amazing. He is a hero of mine. And I'm striving to be more like him, and we love to cut up and joke. And I think it's important, whether you're talking about business partnerships like Suddenlink or with civic partnerships like men like Jerrod, is that they're a role model to the community, in that if these men like Jerrod Wittman don't step up and provide this stable leadership and influence on our kids, who will, right? And so what I would say about Jerrod is he's there. He's there no matter where you are or what you're doing. He is always there, and he's such a stable foundation for our kids. So I have 2 children in our school district, and they know who Jerrod Wittman is, who the Bearded Wonder is. And he's such a great example for them, because they see him in multiple community platforms giving back to make sure his community is better. And that's what we need from our young people, and we need to model that for them. So I see Jerrod as an educator. He educates our kids on how to be civically engaged, to be a very solid leader that they know they can count on, and that the community trusts. Guys, I love to laugh with him and cut up, but can't find a better example of someone who sets the standard for what it means to be civically engaged and to serve and to pay it forward, because Jerrod Wittman does that. And man, we are blessed that he is with us. So.
That's awesome. And Principal Johnson, I want to ask you kind of that same question. What does it mean to you to have partners like Suddenlink who are committed to recognizing the community efforts of folks like Jerrod? Obviously, he's super special to your community, but not only there at Georgetown High School, but to have their support of Texas high school football and communities across Texas.
It's huge. I mean, first of all, Suddenlink has been great just across the entire state. As you know, they provided, internet access to a lot of our kids who needed it when we went into all this COVID business. And so that was huge. But just also just to have the opportunity for us to kind of highlight our little special place of Texas is really an honor. And especially now to have this opportunity just, I was kind of thinking along, Jerrod is for us. I mean, this guy, we're going to rock that boat. You don't have to worry about that boat, because Jerrod, he engages with our kids, and his love and his care for our kids is transparent. And just the way that he interacts with them on the sidelines, the way that he interacts with them on social media, he truly is a role model for our kids to follow. And he's a great guy. He's a great partner for us, just like Suddenlink is. And so we appreciate him very much.
Well, Jerrod, I'm going to give you the final words here. Do you have any final words for the folks at Suddenlink and for the rest of the administration here at Georgetown ISD?
We don't recommend that. That's not a good idea.
Oh, let me see. Where do we go? You know, guys like Mike and Kurt and the whole organization of Suddenlink, first of all, you power 20 plus devices in my very own house. And so you're the reason that I get to watch football, that we get to share so many memories here at home. You're the reason, you know, that my kids also play a lot of video games too online and get to talk with people, which I think is also a great thing. You know, in this day and age where it seems so easy to be connected, sometimes when that's taken away with COVID, the pandemic that's going on, you know, my kids were just itching to have some sort of engagement with their friends. And it wouldn't have been possible without the company, but I know even more than just the company itself, there's great people like Kurt and Mike. You know, these four guys that are represented here, other than myself here at Georgetown, Coach Dean, Coach Griff, Dr. Brent, Fred, and Brian, you know what, they're buddies. They're friends that I've made in relationships that I'll truly cherish forever. And as a hometown kid that I honestly never pictured, you know, living here and raising my own kids here. But I'm just glad that the good Lord's in charge and not myself. And now, and seeing them go through and the care and concern that our coaches and our teachers, our educators have for my very own kids. You know, when you asked me, Rob, when we chatted the other day, when it comes down to it, why do I do it? And it's for these guys that are represented on this screen, because I know the love and care that they have for my kids. And sometimes that comes through discipline. Sometimes that comes through wind sprints for my oldest son and Chuck's youngest there on the football field. Sometimes it just comes through saying, hey, we're going to pray for you guys. We're going to love on you through this whole thing. And if there's anything you can do, I know each one of these men is accessible for that. And so for my own kids to have access to guys and leaders like this in our educational system, you know, it makes what I'm being awarded seem so very, very small in the grand scheme. So I would choose rather to thank these guys than be acknowledged for anything that I could be given.
Well, Jerrod, you are obviously appreciated and an integral part of the Georgetown community. And this was a ton of fun for us. You know, on behalf of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and Suddenlink, congratulations to Georgetown High School for being named our Community Connection School of the Week. And to Jerrod, to you for being recognized as our Community Connector Award. And Jerrod, in honor of this recognition, you know, Suddenlink will be making a $250 donation in your name to the GISD Educational Foundation. We just want to thank you for everything that you do for your school and local community. Keep pressing forward, keep doing what you're doing. And to Georgetown High School, you are now one of 10 schools in the running of the Community Connection School of the Year Award and a chance to receive a $2,500 donation for your school. Voting will take place at the end of the year on TexasFootball.com. And Eagles fans, it will be up to you to rally the vote and lift Georgetown High School to the top. Thank you, Dr. Brent, Principal Johnson, Coach Dean, Coach Griffin for joining us to recognize Jerrod. And last but not least, a special thank you to Mike and Kurt and the team at Suddenlink for your support of the Community Connection School program.